Welcome, class, to a workshop on Coach Joe rules. In this lesson, we will review Coach Joe rule number 30, which states, unit test a single action. A unit test should arrange some data, typically the object being tested and possibly some other preset values. Next, it will act by performing an action or calling a method. And finally, it will assert some condition is true. This example test code arranges some data, performs an action, performs another action, performs a third action, and makes an assertion. This defeats the purpose. A proper unit test should have only one reason to fail. This test calls multiple actions, therefore has multiple ways to fail. Why is it bad? When a test calls more than one action, it now has more than one reason to fail. Did the test fail because of the code called in the first action, or did the test fail because the code called in the second or third action? It can be time-consuming to inspect each action to discover where the problem exists. It also makes understanding test cases more difficult for other developers. It is preferred for unit tests to have one action and then one assertion. Arrange, act, assert, end of test. If the test fails because of an action, finding the problem in the code becomes easier. Avoid continuing the test with more actions and assertions. Instead, make separate tests. The opening test had multiple actions. It should be split up. These three tests are now easier to read, understand, and have only one reason to fail. The spirit of this rule applies to unit tests, but an integration test might have multiple actions. The main difference between a unit test and an integration test is, a unit test focuses on individual code units. An integration test focuses on how many code units work together. Our initial test example is a valid integration test. Just make sure each individual code unit action is tested separately. I challenge you to avoid writing unit tests that call multiple actions. Leave a comment down below with other testing rules that may help you and your team. Look for other helpful Coach Joe videos. Remember, future senior developers, make it work, prove it works, then make it better.
Ready, break!